Hey everybody, I want to float a suggestion out to everybody on the channel on a great, easy, understandable way for you to improve your understanding of deception and what drives people and what motivates people, and how to learn to look past what people are saying. Sorry, I thought I had a parental emergency there, but I guess they figured out their conflict. Um, Anyways, so we're all familiar with the game Monopoly, and I doubt very seriously there's a single person watching this that has never played Monopoly. It is a great game for you to learn about people's the people's nature when there's competition and when there is sort of this underlying motivation for people to drive you to failure. So, you're trying to succeed. You're trying to get all the money, get all the property, get. You're having to be greedy and selfish, and you're trying to actively destroy the other players on the board, which is a very, very good model for the way narcissists think and the way narcissists interact with other people. Now, whether you're a beginner player or an advanced player, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret about Monopoly. The board is not fair. The properties are not evenly distributed. As a matter of fact, the properties with the highest rent yield some of the least amount of money, because the way the board is designed is because of dice theory and because of probability, and same as casino games, the board is designed so that certain properties are favored and certain properties bring in a lot more money than others. And it is not Boardwalk and Park Place. They bring in some of the least amounts of money possible. Now, granted, when they hit and you kill someone, but for the most part, statistically speaking, those are some of the rarest properties to ever land on. The most lucrative properties will surprise you. They are not even in the second half of the board. So, you got four sides. They're not on the most expensive street, and they're not on. I'm not going to reveal too much. You can do the research yourself. I'm not here to teach you about Monopoly, but suffice it to say, when you're trading properties, someone who knows the game and someone who's clever enough will trade seemingly valuable properties for the ones that are truly valuable. Okay? So if you see somebody that has, if you know what you're doing, and if you know the game, you can convince someone that they are getting the better deal. And you can trade properties, and then you end up kicking their ass all the way home, and you end up winning the game. Now, whenever you're dealing with the properties, what do? You say something like, "Hey, I'll trade you these properties for your properties, and we'll both get monopolies out of it. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to let you have the higher paying monopoly because, for one, I know that if I wanted it, if I asked you for it, the first thing you'd say would be no. So, I mean, here we are. We both get color groups out of this. We both get monopolies. I'm willing to take the lower paying one. And give you the higher paying one because, frankly, I can't ask you for the higher paying one because, you would just say no, right? So what do? They trade, and then you develop your property, and more people land on it, including the person you traded with, and then they can't afford to develop their properties. Why? Because you're sucking them dry. You're stealing their money, nickeling and diming them, and then they can't recover, and they can't develop that nice, fancy, expensive property group that you traded them, right? So, but now think about this, because this is like the perfect model for narcissism and for people who are abusive and manipulators, right? You see somebody that has something you want, you have some underlying motive. Nobody ever freely offers you the better deal, right? So nobody ever comes up to you and wants to see you succeed, right? Like, here, I tell you what, I'll fail and you succeed. People generally just don't do that. That's why they say when an offer is too good to be true, it usually is, right? So, what am I getting at with all of this? Well, it's simple. You have to learn that you have to watch people's actions. You have to think. You have to have this base knowledge. Number one, look at people's motives, their intentions. Anytime somebody's giving you a good offer, a great offer, particularly somebody who you know is high conflict or a manipulator or an abuser, when they're nice, when it seems like they have a lot to offer, there's a hidden agenda. Just like when somebody comes up and wants to offer you the better of the two monopolies, all you have to do is trade. Okay, I get a color group and it's a great color group and it's better than their color group. Sure, why not? Oh, because after that you end up getting bled dry and you can never develop it. Right? You have to look at that. So when people are talking to you, coming up to you and telling you stories and telling you, trying to lie to you, gaslight you, making you feel crazy, understand one thing. You cannot listen to words. You have to look at what lies beneath the words. Okay? When somebody, just like in Monopoly, when somebody's coming and offering two color groups, the core thing to remember, number one, in Monopoly and when you're dealing with people in general, rule number one, their offer benefits them. So it doesn't matter if they come up and they say, hey, I'm going to give you this awesome property. All you have to do is trade. First of all, think, okay, ignore all the words. This person wants to enter a transaction that is going to benefit them and benefit me. They are, by default, going to have the greater of the two benefits. So, it doesn't matter what it is you're getting. Whatever it is they're getting yields more benefits than whatever it is you are getting. Okay? So, when people are talking to you and lying and their mouths are flying 900 miles an hour and they're going through all of their hoovering and trying to convince you and manipulate you and get you sold on this idea of doing whatever, understand, they are going to get more out of it than you are. Plain and simple. When people are hitting you up and making you offers, they will always be making their offer so they get more than you do. So, what does this mean for you? It means that it doesn't matter what they say, and it doesn't matter what you say either. It matters what you do. Right? So you can do one of two things. Rather than giving them that property that they want or need so bad, you can trade it away to somebody else who's doing better than they are, or somebody that they know that they never, that they won't get along with. You can put that property right straight out of play. And then remove yourself from the equation. You know? One last thing I'll leave you with. When you're dealing with people like this, you know that they are going to get the better deal than you. You know that they are trying to set you up for failure. And knowing these two things, whatever it is that they want from you is going to guarantee their success and your failure. And what the things that they're telling you do not matter. So, you say no. End of story. And if they want to talk and talk and talk about it, you can call them straight out on it. You can say, I know you, just say, I'm not an idiot. The answer is no. I know you're going to fuck me over. So, no. And then when come, well, you don't know anything. You just think you know it all, don't you? I know enough. I know enough. I know what you're doing is setting me up for failure. And so, no. No, I'm not going to be set up for failure today. Sorry. Not for me. You know, they're going to always have those bad intentions. And if you want to get inside the mind of a narcissist, inside the mind of an emotional abuser, inside the mind that takes great joy and glee out of watching people fail, play a game of Monopoly. And if you play enough Monopoly with the frame of mind that I'm telling you, you will learn a lot about abusers and manipulators. I can promise you that. And before you do, take your ass to Google and actually study the Monopoly board, because I'm telling you, the properties that actually pay out, that pay a lot of money, are not the properties you would think. Each color group on the board has a specific function in mind, has a specific advantage and disadvantage. So you plan your game according to whoever has a specific color group. You know exactly what the outcome of owning that color group will be. And if you have a color group, you know what the outcome of that group's going to be. And if you're smart enough, you can play the board so that you can stick people with specific color groups that will either work to your advantage and work to their disadvantage based on who owns what. And then, once you have all that inside information and you play Monopoly, you will be inside the mind of a narcissist. You will be inside the mind of somebody who takes glee in watching people get destroyed. Seriously. I know this all sounds stupid, but it works. And it's something that everybody can learn from. And it's something that is very tangible that everybody and their mama knows about. So that's all I got for you. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, or share. Play some Monopoly and learn. Bye.